Whoa. Ooh, sign into chat. Gotta do that. Open. Don't switch. All right. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, come on, webcam. Settings. Oh no. Sorry, friends. My camera is not working. There we go. Okay, got it working. Oh, that sucked. Well, that's 60 terrible seconds. I have no idea what just happened. Now I gotta move me back into the frame. There we go. And my dog. There he is. Okay, is this working now? Why did my camera freeze? That wasn't cool. Anywho, let me throw out some advertisement that I'm going live. Because that's what you do, right? You throw out live advertisement. That way that there will be people here. Yeah, don't switch. Don't switch to NVIDIA. All right, where is my Discord? There I am. Yeah, she's new at this. Bear with. I am doing my darndest over here. Like, I'm not even sure I'm taking up the whole screen, honestly. We're just going to go with it. I have no idea what this looks like. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look on my phone and see if this looks okay. Where am I? Oh, okay. All right, well, it looks like it is decently well centered and whatnot. Okay. Oh, I'm glad I could check. Okay, let me quit being a rank amateur and do a little bit of stream advertising. Sorry about that. My camera froze and I don't know why. Wish I could tell you why. Don't know. But hey, friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the well rounded nerd. I am doing a live stream to talk about what I did in the SCA. Where is YouTube? There it is. Link into my Discord real quick. Actually, yeah, well, I guess kind of great. Kind of love it. Welcome, welcome. I am just waiting on folks as I advertise that I am live in different places. Thank you for joining. Don't blame me if you don't hang out because nothing's happening yet. I'm getting used to the live streaming thing. It's I still like doing recorded videos the most, but when stuff is, if I want to do something in real time, I'm going to have to do live stream because that is just easier. Which I see why a lot of people have do a bunch of live streams. I get it, but I don't want it to be my only thing I do. There it is. Share. Haha. Copy. Woohoo! Live now. Live now. Boom. Haha. Look at me being a YouTuber. I can't even believe it. Like, we graduated over here. I know y'all are just here for the dog, and I don't blame you. He's very cute. He is my precious boy. Let me throw it into a post as well. Oh, come on, let me add. Select from my computer. There we go. Live now. All right. Post. Haha. Probably won't do anything because I am a tiny, tiny YouTuber. So in the grand scheme of the algorithm, I'm nothing. But hey, no, Sammy, you're everything. You're mommy's precious boy. All right, so I don't have all night, so I'm just going to go ahead and chit chat and talk about what I wanted to talk about, and then go on about making dinner because it's like 8:30. I meant to do this like an hour ago, but I got distracted, and somehow went to the grocery store to get dinner and a few groceries, and left like all the milk at the store. So that's $15. It's just gone now. Sorry, dear. Sorry, son. It happened. So, anywho, okay. So this past weekend, we're here about the SCA, not my woes. um, this past weekend, my husband and I went to an SCA event. For those who don't know what the SCA is, it stands for the Society for Creative Anachronism. And someone explained it really good this weekend, like when you're trying to explain to people what the SCA is. So it's basically living history. Like if you know people who do like World War II or Civil War or Revolutionary War reenactment. Or like if you look at a channel like Townsend's. Townsend's is a really good example. Only Townsend's, he focuses on, American history, so more recent history. The SCA is 17th century humanity and back. It used to be, it started, I think, in America. I don't know the full history of the SCA because she's a newbie. But it's really about keeping those things that humans were able to do before modernization occurred, keeping all that alive. Everything from the martial arts to literature to jewelry making, armor making, just all kinds of stuff is kept alive because of the SCA. It's really cool. And when you go to events, it's a chance to put on garb. So you get to choose, the kind of period you might want to focus on. For me, I focus on 13th century Morocco just because I'm interested in learning more about, African history because, obvious reasons. Um, and plus, I like the clothing. The clothes look good on me. So, but when it's hot outside, I'm Moroccan. When it's cold outside, she's Viking because those dresses are made of wool. But yeah, so and then there's all these kinds of events. There's arts and sciences stuff. There's things that are martially focused. There are things, where you get together and we can do volunteer activities. It's just, there's so much. I'm going to try to find a concise way to explain it. I don't have that yet. But I did want to chat about the experience I had this weekend because it was my first war. In the future, there was only war. Um, but right now in the present, there is SCA war. So we went to an event for our kingdom, the Meridiers, which I think is like the middle part of the southeast for the most part. Um, so like Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and I think Kentucky. I, and Mississippi. I think Mississippi is part of us as well. Um, but they held what was called a war. Now, what it is you bring people who participate in heavy combat together to participate in war scenarios. So I streamed some of that. So it was like things like sieging a castle, two lines fighting against one another. So you can go back on my channel just in the past couple of days and see those streams. Um, and it's when I say heavy combat, I'm going to show you some things I picked up this weekend. It's heavy combat. I've been doing Taekwondo for over 20 years, and we hit really hard. You ain't been hit till you done been hit by somebody swinging a dadgum piece of rattan, and you have to be wearing a metal helmet to not get your skull busted. It's a good time. I love it. I'm all about the martial arts. So what we did at these wars, people typically camp out. And for me, I had never tent camped before. I have a camper, so I am very much a camping nerd in my camper. And I bought my camper before I met my husband. So it was for me and my dog, who was back there licking his doodle. Sammy, Pookums, mommy's baby. Lick your doodle on your own time. Thank you. But he's my dog. I love him the most. Or was he licking his, you know what? Just on your own time. Don't embarrass me in front of company. But yeah, so people typically camp out, and you camp in like your family groups, which are around it. That's a whole thing, and like household groups, or like there's bunches of encampments. So we went out and we were invited to camp with a group that was is my husband's best friend from childhood has a household, and all of them did a camp. So we borrowed a tent, and I had never tent camped, but I got us prepared and we went out and did it. It was actually really cool. The first night we were there, it rained like nobody's business. Like there were storms all through the southeast, and we moseyed going up there. Like it's a 4 hour drive. It took six because we were moseying. We were just enjoying the drive. And then when we got there, it was dark, and we had to put together a tent that neither of us had seen before. There were no instructions. Oh, and there weren't any stakes in the bag either, which is fine. My husband had stakes for our day shade, and then his best friend ended up bringing us some extra stakes to put our day shade up. It was a whole mess, but it was a fun mess. But you know your marriage is solid if you can put together a tent you've never seen together in the dark and still love one another in the morning. Like, yeah, it was cool. So we camped with everybody. We cooked over open fire. Our encampment did a potluck on the last night that we were there. So I think I put up a lot of the food that I did. So like I grilled chicken wings for everybody, was making breakfast over the fire, using the mocha pot that my husband brought to make coffee. Like it was just fun to be disconnected from most things. Like yeah, I posted, but like we were just out there enjoying ourselves. So while we're there, what a lot of people do is set up. What you see in a lot of the photos that I put up is all these shades along the side of where the war is happening. And they're pretty safe about it. So they'll put up netting and screening so that, like, when the arrows are flying or if somebody throws their sword or something, you don't get hit if you're sitting courtside. So I have my own shade, my pile of snacks, my box of wine, and I had a great time watching the fights. The reason I didn't fight is I'm not authorized yet. Authorization means knowing all of the rules and having the right equipment. My major piece of equipment, which is my helmet, is not ready yet. It probably won't be ready until the end of this month. So without one that fits me properly, I can't get authorized to fight. I have a loaner helmet for practice. So hopefully the next time we go to a war, we'll get to go. It was so cool because we met somebody there. My husband and I were trying, like, it's super cool. Um, we met someone in our encampment who actually had a wall tent that they were looking to sell because we were camping out to decide if we liked it enough to buy a tent for SCA camping. And they just happened to have one they were looking to sell. So now we've got the tent that we want, which is like an old medieval tent. And it's called a wall tent because you put up these posts and it looks like it's got just straight walls. Like it's so great. It's like a little rather big war tent. It'll fit a king size air mattress. But yeah, so that's camping. But seeing so many cool things. Now, I will say, there were a couple of times I cut my feed over the weekend, and just full disclosure, there were a couple of injuries. I'm not When I saw that it happened, I cut what I was doing. I'm not going to put somebody's bad moment out there for the internet. I have very firm policy, and I every state is different. Like we live in Alabama, but this event was in Georgia. Every state, every municipality, every city has different rules about filming in public. The SCA has rules about filming. The reason I only film the battles is because everyone is in a helmet, so you can't pick out faces. And then also, I don't put children on if I can help it. Like if you're at Disney World and a kid's in the background, it's going to happen. But I honestly do my best not to put people on the internet who didn't ask to be there. And plus, that's what people want to see. Not that the other stuff isn't great. Like, there were dance classes happening, there were calligraphy classes. My husband took this really cool bone needle sewing class. Um, I sat fieldside and ate cheese and drank wine and watched battles, and it was great. And I shopped. So that's what I did. We helped other friends set their camps and day shades up. It's really cool because you just get to sit in history for a few days. And this being our first war, and I really enjoyed it, we're now planning on the next one that we want to do later this fall. And plus, having that wall tent, if other people, like our kids, want to come camping with us and we have the camper, they can use the big tent. So, just all good things all around. But the really cool stuff was the swag I was able to grab for not a lot of money. There were people who were trying to clean out SCA stuff they've collected over 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Some of them have been in the SCA longer than I've been alive. My hat's off to you. This is my Adepticon glass. Love it so much. But there was one gentleman who literally had a tent up called the Garage Mahal. He was basically like, "Make me an offer. It's just I don't want to take any of this home." So, and then my husband's best friend told us there was going to be a particular pottery vendor there, and he had been looking for a new pottery made coffee cup because the one he's had for years finally gave up the ghost. So it was time to get a new one. So that's what we did. So whenever my husband and I go to events like this, we set a budget before we go. Luckily, at an event like this, there's so much stuff being sold that is really being passed down, or you've got the direct artisan there who made it. The pricing's not bad. So let me do that, and I'll talk about things as we do them. So let's do the cups first. So there was a very particular vendor that we were trying to get to as far as purchasing mugs. And I'm going to unwrap a couple. Some we've already used and some we have not. But I want to make sure I say it right. Is this them? Is it Fire Horse, I think? Yeah, Fire Horse. I think there were two that we went to, but we're gonna look at the Fire Horse stuff first. Is all of it? Yeah. So one, two, three. Yeah, my husband got two from them. I got one. So my husband's favorite color is purple. So these are the mugs he got from them. These are all handmade, perfectly glazed. There's the camera. Look at that, just that drip effect on here. So, and the artisan does all of this one at a time. Oh, the price tag is still on the bottom. This glass was $35. Um, and for a handmade piece of art, which is what this is, that's a really good price, honestly. And we honestly didn't bring a ton of cash to buy stuff with because that wasn't the point of this event. But if we saw something we wanted to be able to get it, and we both decided we wanted to get mugs from this creator. This one is not Fire Horse. This one comes from Clay Baby Pottery. Uh-oh, did I freeze? Why did I freeze? Come on, camera. Don't be that way. Why did my camera freeze? Oh no, it was fine. Now it froze. Froze in an ugly position. Why? We were doing good. Mm, mess with my webcam settings real quick. That's the worst angle ever. But I'm flopping around the camera. Boy, that is just the worst angle that ever existed. I don't ever want to look at myself from that direction again. Okay, so let's go back to the main camera. Let me see if it'll behave now. There we go. Got it. That was better than having to close my chat. There we go. All right, we're back. So then I started looking through um, the different. Oh, I'm lagging now. Dadgummit. Settings. Nope, nope. That's not what I want. I want this one. Better. Nope, nope. Change it again. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting used to this live streaming thing, and there's just tech stuff that comes up that gets a little annoying and in the way, and I'm learning how to solve it in real time. So thank you for your patience while she learns. What time is it? She needs to hurry up. She has to make dinner. Anywho, so I ended up getting a mug from a Fire Horse as well. Are y'all ready for this? This is so stinking cool. It's a samurai cat etched in here. This artist is out of control. That is so. There was another one I was looking at. It was a fairy riding a cat. But I mean, come on. How could I not get Samurai Kitten? And my son really loves cats, and if he steals my mug, we don't steal my mug. So those are the ones we purchased. There's one more that I got. I want to say there's a couple more because they cut me a deal on a couple of things. So I went ahead and got those. So this one's really funny. This one is from the Clay Baby. So they had these really cool like 3D relief mugs, and I wanted one. Like they would design scenes on them and everything. Look at this. How could I leave that there? Like, there's no chance that how could I not? Like, come on, it's a sheep. That is so stinking cute. I love everything about it. I'm gonna put it back down here where everything is soft so nothing happens to it. I feel like I'm missing a mug. Oh, because I am. Here they are. I am missing a mug. I'm missing a couple of them, actually. So he cut us a deal on some things, and there was one I had seen over in the garage mahal. It was this kind of like glass that you could shake it and it would jingle, which basically is something a lady would do to have it served, have more brought to her. So I wanted one of those too. So the guy who made the lamb that I put somewhere also made this one. Now, I've been told that this has symbolism in the SCA, which is a laurel. I'm not a laurel. Laurel is like a master of some kind of art, but I like it. But here's why I really like it. You ready for this? You ring it. There's a bell in here. Like, ah! And plus, it's a great wine goblet. So I'm super happy with that. I'm going to set that here. And then my husband got one more. And this is the last of the goblets. No, it's not. There's one more, but that came from somewhere else. So he got this one. My husband does not imbibe. He just really liked this glass, which, yeah, and it was a really good price. So this is a 16-ounce glass. So this is really good. So when you're sitting like battlefield side or you go to an event where there's a feast and lots of cooking and eating, it's fun to have dishware that is to the period that you're in. So everybody has like kits and stuff. Like we've got silverware that's fashioned to the period. Each of us has a feast kit that has like a plate and linen and a bowl and all of that in it. That's all, old. It's fun. I did get two more drinking vessels. So these are a little sillier, but one of them I had no use for. This one I got for free. I'm not kidding. I got this one for free. Um, and you can see why I want it. It's actually a little stein. And I do collect steins, but I don't buy steins very often because they're expensive. But when you can get one for free, take the stein. Um, so this will be, I think, my sixth or seventh stein. But look at that. How cute. And this is, it's clay relief, so, it's 3D. That's so much fun. So that's the kind of stuff we were able to find. That came from the Garage Mahal guy who was like, just take it. I don't want it. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll take it. And then I also have always wanted one of these. Now, do I know how to drink out of it? No. But if you're going to be a warrior on the battlefield, I feel like you need a drinking horn. That's how I feel. Right, Sammy? Sammy does not care. He is unbothered by me and my shenanigans. But I was happy to find that, and there was one person who had drinking horns from an artist who carved them out of, I don't know what they were carved out of, honestly. But they were like $1,000 a piece. That was not the budget. She spends that kind of money on Warhammer. Um, actually, a bit of it fell off. This is so you can strap your drinking horn. So I got two choices. I can either set the drinking horn on the table or I can put it in my belt and carry it around like this on my belt loop. So that is so cool. That's really cool. Y'all don't care about this. She bought hot sauce. Don't worry about it. I heard something. I don't know where that sound came from. I'll check on it in a minute. One thing I've been looking for since we started in the SCA was a very particular kind of basket. Uh, Several of the women had these woven baskets. I've been told came from Africa, and they had got them at an event called Gulf War a couple of years ago. And no, maybe more than that. So like it was kind of unobtainable for me to get one because they said that particular vendor hadn't been back. Well, wouldn't you know, there were two garage mahals there, and one of the guys doing a garage mahal had one of the baskets. This is like a $200 piece, and it's huge on the inside. It has all these pockets where you can put things that need to stand upright, like a wine bottle or your mug or something. Um, and I got it for $40. So that was the exhaustion of my budget. And then he threw in a couple of things that he couldn't get rid of. And he was like, "Do you want them?" I was like, "Absolutely." I got two of these. I'm only going to bring one up. But this is a lantern. You put a candle in it. How great is that? So imagine how that's going to reflect in the tent, especially when we get our wall tent. I cannot wait to get pictures of all this. Um, I'm so into the SCA now. Like I thought I was a dork. Oh no, we have elevated our nerddom. Like I am out there with it now. But no, you put a big candle in here and just oh my goodness, that's going to be gorgeous. I gotta clean it up a little, but he gave me both of these for like $10 because he didn't want to take them home, and I was like, I'll take them. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just putting together my SCA kit now. This did not know what it was until my husband said, "Oh, that's a cookbook stand." Got it for like $1. Because again, it came out of the Garage Mahal. So that's one of the cool things when you go to these events. Yes, there are vendors that are retailers. There are also people who are like, I have 90 years worth of stuff. Please just take it home. So this I'm actually going to use in my kitchen at home as a cookbook stand because I do cook a lot. So how handy to find something like this available to me. So it needs a little bit of, it need to get a can of air and kind of spray it out because it's obviously not been used, but it's hand carved. Look at that. And you open it up and you sit your book in it and it's there. Like a buck. Come on. Like, what was I supposed to do? And then at the Garage Mahal, y'all ain't ready for this. This is stupid. He just let me have it as well. He let me have it because I bought something else. So he was just like, "You want this to go with it? Just take it." Look at this. And yes, it works. I've got the stand for it. It's a little bitty keg. Are you even kidding me? Are you even kidding me right now? And it works. I've got to clean it out. Obviously, I didn't drink out of it this weekend, but I'm going to clean it out, make sure it's good and sanitized. But yeah, it's a small working keg, which for, where we're going, this is perfect for like, you know, again, keeping to period look and stuff on the battlefield. Just, having it out there on my side table when we're having battlefield snacks and stuff. So I don't think this has actually ever been used, but even still, you gotta make sure you rinse stuff out and treat it properly. So yeah, I'm way happier about this than I should be. But it's little cute versions of stuff are better than the full size versions. That's what I believe. So super happy with that. Then I got a couple of things for my own battling. So I do heavy fighting, and now I'm starting to get into where I'm making some of my own gear or at least putting it together. So I went ahead and come here. I'm going to do a live this weekend, probably Friday or Saturday, where I do what I got to do with this. But I got two new sword blanks, and these are a good weight for me. Um, but with the blanks, I also got a new metal hilt. So this is a basket hilt. I fight with the leather gloves and half gauntlets to protect my hand. So my hand is protected by this big piece of metal. So I'm going to have to affix my sword blank in here and then wrap it up to mark the blade and the rest of the sword. So that's gonna be fun. I've never done that before, but I have a lot of people who I know are going to be willing to help me figure out exactly how to do this correctly. I fought with a couple of swords a couple of weeks ago that I liked a whole lot better than the one I'd been using. And so now I'm making one myself. So that's another thing. You're going to start getting into making stuff if you choose to SCA. Well, it depends on how deeply you get into it. The last thing that I got was a bit of extra protection for fighting. So I've been using like motocross gear, but it's starting to get really hot outside. So pulling that motocross shirt on kind of stinks. So this is a kidney and back guard. You put a belt loop through it, which I've got a belt, and then you wrap it around your kidneys from the back, which we have something like this in Taekwondo that's just for, going around the ribs and kidneys, only instead of it going on this way, it goes on from behind you. It is super heavy. The guy who actually made my husband's helmet made this, and that's who I got the sword blanks from, and that's who I got the hilt from. So I knew they'd be really good quality. And he kind of goes around to a lot of SCA events, and if he doesn't make it, he imports it from the correct people. A lot of it coming from Europe. A lot of my garb that's like Middle Eastern or Viking is actually coming from Turkey. Like I got a new pair of fighting boots last week, and those were made in Turkey. And I don't know what's happening in Turkey, but y'all doing the Lord's work for the SCA, and I appreciate it. This looks like I got like a wrestling belt on it. Okay, I'm done. Okay, now I'm done. But yeah, so this is going to be new protection for me. I got a little bit other things I want to tweak because as you start getting further and further into a hobby like this, you start figuring out what you need. It was the same when I started in Taekwondo. The first time I went to a tournament, I had no idea what all I needed. Half the gear I used was borrowed, and then I bought stuff, and it was some of it was right, some of it was wrong. Now I've got 3 full sets of sparring gear. I have probably 30 uniforms, but over the years, I've probably given away 60 uniforms. They come and go, they pass through your hands. And we've already been able to help some other folks out who are new in the SCA. We've been able to give away feast kit and stuff like that. So when you get into groups like this, like a martial arts school, SCA, just stuff like this, it's about community and enjoying fun stuff like this together. Good people will help you out. Our gaming community is the same way. I was able to get into tabletop gaming because we ran across a good group of people. And I didn't have anything to game with, but they were like, here, you can use our models until you have your own. And now I do that. I'm specifically going to build a second army so that if somebody wants to play, here's another army that you can face me and my Emperor's children with. But it was a really good weekend. I know it's kind of rambly, but it's so new to me that I don't have a way to talk about what it was without rambling. But as I do more SCA stuff, I think I'll be able to get my thoughts clearer. I just know that I really like the environment. I like the people. I like the events. I'm really enjoying getting to have these little pieces of modern history in my possession. So it's fun. Did I need another hobby? Absolutely. Probably not, but there. Why not? Why not? You only live once. We were all saying back in, the early aughts. The aughts. Oh my goodness. Anywho, but yeah, you only live once. You might as well enjoy your life. We were able to borrow $1,000 tent last weekend, and I'm giving it back to them. I've got to drag it out and let it dry in the front yard because it rained. Even though we had a tarp under it to protect it, I still want to give it back to them, totally dry it out and stuff. So I'll get that unloaded tomorrow and then take it back to them next weekend. And thank you for loaning that tent to us. But that's part of what makes the SCA so great. There's so many people who just are enjoying living in history, and they want to live in history with tons of folks. So that was my experience with our SCA weekend. I had the most fun. I'm not sure how I could have had more fun. If I find a way, I'll let you know. But it's time for me to go make dinner for my family. I've been on this internet goofing around long enough. This is going to be a janky stream. I'm sorry. But yeah, as usual, please like, comment,